morning everybody. It's Taz from the Active Wellbeing Society here, bringing you a very special Black History Month edition of a program we called From Seed to Plate. So today I'm at Court Lane Allotments, which is just off the Jarvis Road. So if you know Erdington and you know Court Lane, there's a side road called Jarvis Road, and you can just come off here and it will take you just through there. You've got lots of these high rises behind me that you might be able to see, and it's a bit hidden away, but what we have is a wonderful growing space here for the community called Court Lane Allotments. I'll switch the camera because I'm going to be introducing our very first guest who's opening the gate for us.
Good morning.
Hello.
How you doing, Taz?
Introduce yourself. It's a bit windy, so you might want to speak up a little bit louder.
Fine. Okay. Good morning. My name's Junior. I work for the Active Wellbeing Society. I work part of the holistic team, so basically I'm a social prescriber and I work with GPs and other health professionals to support patients and other people into extra well-being and support. So that's what I do. So obviously coming out to green spaces, taking part in physical and social activities.
Brilliant. Thank you, Junior. Now, viewers who are just joining us, you might be thinking, what's this edition? What's this special program? It's called Seed to Plate. We're at Court Lane Allotments, and I've just walked in through the gate, and straight away you can see this wonderful, beautiful view ahead. I mean, if you've had a busy day at work or you've got a day ahead, you know, come out here and escape and look at this spot for your well-being. Now, I've done a few videos at other allotments and they're all equally as beautiful. It's opened up a whole new world for me, and I'd like to explore more about growing and learning about growing. So Junior's going to talk us through his connection with the allotment space, and as a young black man as well himself, you know, how he got into this and how it can benefit others. So our communities that we work with, some of our patients we may work with, and just making a whole new family and circle of friends through growing. So that's the idea today. So I hope you enjoy this. Please do share this video on. There's a share button at the bottom here that you can just click and it will send it to all your Facebook contacts, and Junior will talk us through. Okay, Junior, so tell us how long has it been since you've been involved in growing here?
So as Taz has mentioned, you know, this is a wonderful new world experience out here. So when you come and it just kind of shows you everything. It's a space that is just amazing. You come, as soon as you go through the gates and I shut those gates, it's like your whole well-being just lifts up. You know, it changes your whole mood set, your mindset. So for me, this is my 4th year into my allotments, and for me it was I've always been involved in activities and doing sports and things like that. But I was going through a traumatic time in my life, and I found like I needed something else. And what kind of, I think it was the soul was seen from me, and the seed was sown because my granddad had an allotment when I grew up in Aston, and he used to take me along, and I was like, oh, I'm not interested, I don't want to be a granddad. Like, no. He's like, come on, get involved. So I think for me that's when the seed was sown. So I just thought I need something else to do something different, and I was going through that, as I said, that traumatic time. So I thought, I walked past one time and I said they had some spaces available. So I thought, let me just contact my local Birmingham City Council and see if they've got a space. And you know, thankfully enough, there wasn't a space available. So I came to view it, and once I came through those gates, I just thought, yeah, this is where I need to be, and this is going to be my new home. So that's the reason why I got involved in it.
Brilliant. Okay, we've got 7 or 8 live viewers, so if any of our viewers have any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section here and I'll read them out to Junior. While we're live, you can ask, but those who are watching this later on the replay and on demand, any question that you put in the comment section, we can look back into and try and get back some answers to you as well. So Junior might have some really good information that you can share with us, but we're just going to keep it as a walk and talk session and then come and see some of the space. So over in this allotment, I can see there's lots of allotments here, and I can see a big white marquee. What happens at the marquee there?
Yeah, so as I said, the allotment plot you can either have a half a plot, or you can have a full-size plot. If you're a elderly or a pensioner, then you'll get it at half price, which is a big discount. But I would say that for the space you get and the money you get and the things you can grow, it's so cheap and beneficial, basically. So as I said, he mentioned about the plots, but over there we have a marquee. So this place here it's like a new family. it's actually a family. So the community that come along here, it's like amazing. So people are generous, but also knowledgeable as well. So as I say, I'm still a beginner. So this is my 4th year in, and I've learned so much. When I first come, I was like, what do I do? You know, my granddad taught me years ago, but I didn't know anything at that age. So they've taught me quite a lot. They've given me a lot of things to put in, give me, you know, recommend me things what to do. So I've learned a lot. Also, along with, you know, a great family we've got here in community space, we've got a marquee over there. So we also have we have a committee. We also have different events that they put on as well. So it could be who's growing the biggest runner bean, who's growing the biggest pumpkin this year, and let's have a competition. They get together to have band nights, have it, and the band nights usually, obviously due to COVID, obviously that's kind of quieting down. So we've not done that, but for the future, that's something we're going to continue to do. And so we do get along together, and they do have quite some nights out. So it's a great community space, a great place where you can come and meet people, you know, learn about different things, learn about different experiences that they've been through as well. The plot holder next to me, his name's George, and he's 92, I think he's.
Wow.
So he's, you know, and he's got 2 full-size allotments, and I'm thinking, how did he do it at that age? But obviously through experience, he used to have a farm as well back in Jamaica, so he knows quite a lot. So I've learned a lot from him, and I'm still learning. But it's beautiful, and I love it. Okay.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi Lisa, thanks for joining us, sending you a wave, Lisa. We're learning from Junior today. He's going to be talking about his growing experience here, and we hope you enjoy this video. Lisa, do share it on to others, and let's get others watching this video as well. So lead us on.
Yeah.
So you can see some of the colours as we're walking through. I know for my well-being it's lifted as soon as I walked in through those gates. You see these wonderful colours. You see the autumnal colours of the trees behind as well, and you can see that still in flower. A lot of the beautiful colours here. The sunflowers that are growing ahead. It's absolutely beautiful. So imagine if you lived in one of these apartments here and the high-rise buildings here, and you needed something to do to help your well-being. You may not have a garden space down below, a communal ground, but you've got this. You could get involved. You could come down, you can find out about how you could use this space for your well-being, and like Junior did, it really helped and benefited his well-being as he was going through quite a traumatic time in his life, which has really helped him, and he wants to share some of those learnings onto us, the viewers, and hopefully we can find the benefits of working and using allotment spaces. Brilliant. So we're going to go in through yours, and then if you lead us the way. So this is through some of the spaces here, and you can see what's been growing by his neighbours nearby as well. Lovely to see those scarecrows as well. We did a scarecrow building one at Billsley Lane allotments recently, so those who haven't seen that video, there is a scarecrow building video that we did that you can watch back. But it's great because the children can get involved and come and take part and use the space as well. So this area here is Junior's space, so he's going to talk a little bit about what it was like when he first took it over, and also what he's planning to do with it now and what he grows here.
Okay, so this, as I say, is my 4th year in. The first year I got it, but when I first got it, everything was up to my chest, basically.
Really?
So
Wow.
it took quite a lot of labour to kind of get everything down, because I came during the in season, so it was during like July times. So everybody already had things put in already, because you tend to put things in, the main bulk of things from February, March, April. That's kind of growing season, should I say, when you put all your stuff into seed, or you start growing things and put them into the ground. So it was quite hard, heavy labour. That's why I'm quite, you know, surprised, and I'm kind of, what's the word shall I use, when I see an older generation that they can still do all that hard, heavy labour and grow things. So, you know, I'm kind of like amazed at them, really. So what I've done, I did a gradual approach, really, because I was quite a beginner. So I just started this. I only put in the first year, I put in potatoes. And so
in this space here, behind you.
I've taken them out now because obviously they've come through. So I had my earlies and my lates, and then I put in potatoes, and also put in red and white onions. So that was my kind of my first year, basically, just to kind of, you know, just to test the waters, or test the soil, should I say, and see basically how it goes. And actually done quite well. You know, it was good, and that kind of spurred me on and gave me a bit of encouragement, saying, you know, okay, I put it in, but I don't literally grow anything. I just kind of get rid of the weeds, and nature itself does it. So so it was amazing just to see that you put something in, and wow, like you'd be surprised how quick things grow through, and you think, wow, like. And then I use those, obviously same things, potatoes to grow. So I probably pick up some rosemary, rosemary from wild rosemary. Obviously throw that into some water, chop up my potatoes and boil them, should I say, or steam them. Cause I like to steam my vegetables because it retains all the nutrients. So that's just something that I've done. So over time, learning from the other allotment and plot holders here, I've learned to do other things. So at the moment, because of the season now, we're in October, and this time now you only get the odd things in. So a lot of things now I've kind of come out. So at the moment I've got kale. Sweet corn's gone, which the squirrels ate. I had a few of them, but you're supposed to cover them basically with plastic or of a covering.
Yeah.
So, and I've got some rhubarb, which I usually make my rhubarb. As you can see, it's coming down, so that will kind of die out and then grow back during January. Yeah. So with the rhubarb, I will make a juice. So I'll make rhubarb and ginger juice, which got a lot of benefits, especially got vitamin K in there as well for the bones. So I tend to love that, and it's got a nice lot of tang to it as well. So I've got some ginger in there, which probably won't grow because you need it quite hot ginger. So you either need a propagator which covers and retains, the sun comes on, it retains all the heat in there. So that might not grow until next year. It might die out. Back over there, got some garlic, and that might come back through in December time because I put it in too early. A couple more kale there. I've got some marrow, which is part of the courgette family. There's 2 over there, and 1 pumpkin. So unfortunately, this year my pumpkin haven't done too well. I don't know why. Sometimes it's like that. It's you put something in and it grows bountifully. Other times you put it in and nothing comes through. Or you get the odd few. Last year I had about 15 pumpkins, and the beautiful thing about pumpkin is that obviously a lot of people use it for Halloween and this season. I tend to use it for just for health, to make soups and pumpkin and soup and carrot soup, and obviously that got a lot of benefits for the body. But the good thing about pumpkin is that it can last for a whole year. So if you take it out during this season, during October, November, it can last up until you're growing again. But you got to keep it in somewhere cool, not too hot and not too cold, because the frost will get to it. Obviously, like I said, depends frost in your home. But obviously, you got to keep it in a nice kind of good temperature. So yeah, and over there's my a herb patch that I kind of grow. So I've got in there mint, lemongrass, calendula, lavender, and narcissium, which is actually like a plant. But you can eat it as well. I'll probably show you the colours in a bit.
Yeah, show us the colours, and let's test out the smells as well, because I like to.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you look at it and you think, oh, what's that? But you can actually eat those. And they're quite very good. They're quite very good for you. So you can put it as a salad. So you garnish. Like some people use coriander, or if you're American, you use cilantro. But we obviously so that's this is my plot, and there's a few other things. I got some cabbage in there, which grew something called clubroot, which is like a diseased cabbage. So it looks like it's going to grow very well, but then it just drops and doesn't grow very well. So I think out of the 15 I put in there, or something like that, I've only got 4. But I always look at the positive. Something's come through, so so I take that as a positive, as a bonus. And I got a couple callalus which came through I grew them last year and it didn't come through, and this year they've come up. So I've got quite a lot of leaves off there now, but only quite small now, the leaves. So but as you can see, the colours on it, you see the reddy colour. It's not a reddy colour, it's like a what colour? It's like a maroon colour. It's like but that's where the seeds are as well. So what you can do is you can pick them off. And you can
so those who are watching, that's what we're talking about. If I get a little bit closer, so you can see the colours here.
Actually, I'll show you.
Show us the seeds. See where the seeds are.
It's good. So if I just pick off one, you can see. So I'll put on this one here. So all the little black seeds inside, all these are seeds. So you can see how much seeds that is. So one seed will grow one of these. Wow. So that's just from a little bit I picked off. So some people are careful because if they don't want too much of it, then they'll take it off before it gets to this part. But I want to grow quite a lot here, so I'm just going to leave it and I'm going to stack them on the floor. So hopefully they will go back, germinate into the ground, and then grow up for next year. Hopefully. So that's what I want to do. I want to grow all this plot here, the size here, full of callaloo. This is wild callaloo, the red one, and this is actually the normal callaloo. So this is like a browny colour. But hopefully next year they will grow a bit better. As you say, these leaves are quite small. Usually you want to get double the size of that. That's what the leaves should be, and that's what you cook and grow. So you'll pick that off, and then you can either steam it with some onions and some peppers, or cook it with callaloo, ackee, and saltfish. Depends.
Yeah,
depends what you want to do, really.
Ackee and saltfish the other day, so we had a callaloo version of that. Christine cooked. So that's great. So one of the benefits you're saying is that you grow it for your well-being. You know, it gives you experience. It's something that you're trying out. But then it's sharing as well. So you share your produce out, and you know you're not selling it on. You are giving it away, people, community, and that's really nice that you've got this growing and then offering the fruits of the seeds. Really, isn't it? That's what you do.
Yeah, I think the reason why I did it, because obviously I wanted to learn more, and I'm still learning. As I said, I'm a beginner, but it was, for me, it was about, as you say, about the sharing element of, you know. And also raising awareness. So that's what it was for me. It was like, I remember I mentioned it earlier. I came in and a young man said to me, "What are you doing in there?" I said, "I'm going to grow food." He's like, "Grow food? Like, huh? Like, oh, is that like for old people?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, it's not for old people, because if you look at farmers, you know, they grow from a young age. You know, young people, you know, and it keeps in the family. So it's about changing those mindsets and those stereotypes of, it's only for old people, or it's only for when you retire, or I haven't got the time. This is a space that for me is, you can't understand it until you come along and do it. And once you have that experience, then it changes a whole different dimension of how you feel about planting and growing. And I don't want to get my hands dirty and all that kind of stuff. But the other side we were just talking about is also about sharing, because I believe that freely receive, freely give. So this is all it's costing me is my time. But with that time, I'm getting so much benefits from it. My mental health, you know, how I'm feeling, my mindset. If I've had a hard day or a hard week, I come here and I can just, I just feel, I leave better than I came, basically. And then also on top of that, with the foods that I grow, the produce, I can give out to people as well. So with that, they will get to use it, cook with it from seed, as we said, to plates, and obviously taste all the good nutrients. Because one thing I would say is that you can't beat growing your own produce. You can buy it from the supermarket, it's been in package for weeks and months, and yeah, that's good, it's been preserved, yeah, that's good. But when it's natural and you start to see it die out in a few days, think, why is it like growing like rotten in a few days? And that because basically you're starting to oxidize. So what you need to do is grow it organic, you get all the nutrients from the soil, and basically it's something beneficial to the body and the mind as well, because that's what plants do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met a neighbour of mine who's 94 and he's still growing his own produce at Ox Hill Road allotment, and only yesterday. So I'm amazed at how it keeps your health and well-being in check. You know, you're eating good quality food, organically grown here, you know, from your own fingers to your plate, really, and that's the massive health benefits. And Junior, you say you look after yourself as well, health and well-being. You're quite a sporty gentleman as well. So when you use produce here for your juices and for your nutrients, do you see massive benefits for your health on that?
Yeah, definitely, because I think the thing is that we don't realise how much toil our body, how hard it is for our bodies to work, you know, when we're constantly working. But when I'm juicing and I'm getting the benefits, it allows me to train and cycle. So especially like with the sports that I do, so sports, I don't say play sport, but I do martial arts. So we are looking about, at least on a Wednesday it's 3 hours, on Tuesday it's 2 hours, on a Sunday it can be 2 hours as well. So it's quite taxing on the body. So I use a lot of stuff that I grow to help repair my muscles, to help repair my mind, how to put all the nutrients that I need in my body to help me to do that hard labor that I'm doing for the weeks going ahead. So so I tend to like to cook and eat all these things because I know that it's going to be beneficial. So that's why I use them as well.
How did you learn about what nutrients come from what produce? And did you do any courses, or have you just learnt as you've gone along?
So nutrition is my passion. It is now. Two reasons. When I was at college, I did sports science, and one of my passions was about the nutritional side of it, but also it was biomechanics. But I went on to do coaching sports and doing PE. That was my thing. It's only when I got, I think around 2010, I started to look at my health more, because it was, unfortunately, I was a bit overweight. I was working at a school, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I'm just real like that. A young boy said to me, 'cause I was only like 19, he was by year 11, and he said to me, "Sir, look at your belly." And it was in a kind of, it wasn't like it wasn't trying to be rude, but it was like, you know, like, sir, come on, man, you're a good sprinter. You know, we've seen you just on 100 meters so fast, and like, you know, what's happened to stuff. So it kind of motivated me. It was a bit like, you're going to detention, but it was more like, you know what, okay, he's probably trying to help me. So I took it as a negative, but I turned it into a positive. And I thought now it's time to look at myself, look at what I'm eating, because I always played sports, but so why am I still putting on so much weight? And it was basically because I was eating a lot more than I was burning off, basically. So that was my kind of my motivation, should I say, and my spurring moment, or my turning point to say, let's get more involved in nutrition. And then from there, I went and I did a nutritional qualification in health, basically, and also I do I'm currently doing a foundation degree in Ayurvedic herbalist. So it's just that passion, really. And I had a traumatic experience with my sister that was diagnosed with cancer, and that kind of even spurred me even more to say, well, what can we do to help improve our health and well-being? You know, what are we doing? Because, you know, there's a lot of benefits to ancient herbs, spices, foods, vegetables, and all those things that we use and we don't use, we should use more of, and don't realize that can help us. So that kind of my kind of background, really, of why I use them and why I grow them, and my passion, basically.
Brilliant. So those who are watching, guys, it's never too late to do something to change your lifestyle for the positive effect. And also, I've been through my own journey, as some of you know, through my walking and running, reaching 40, and then being borderline type 2 diabetic, having to lose weight for my health and well-being, and falling in love with running and walking. And that's why I'm doing what I do, and Junior's doing what he loves to do as well. And food is passion, he's growing is his passion, sports is his passion, and then finding a way of doing that, putting it all together where you can. Sorry there, we just had a temporary loss in the signal there, apologies. We're back with Junior. So that's what we're talking about, how Junior got involved through some of his life experiences. So now, that was when you were 19, so now you're a little bit older, a little bit wiser. So what kind of things can you say to people who are going to get in for the first time, try to come to allotment space and try and grow their own produce, or get involved in helping others and volunteering here?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned, you know, what I always say to people, what's your motivation for change? And Taj mentioned his motivation, what change was, and I mentioned my motivation for change. And I always say that it may not be a passion, but you've got to try it once. You've got to just come along and just and you know, taste it and see, you know. And for me, it was once I came through these doors and I saw how it changed my whole mindset and my well-being and how I felt about being in this space. It kind of crushed all misconceptions about being and growing and farming. So that was for me. So I would say, you know, you don't have to be. I always say to people, like, you know, one of my friends runs quite like Taz, the runner, and I always say you don't have to run a marathon to put it out there and say I'm great at this. You know, it just takes one step. So whether it's going for a walk and looking at nature in the park, also you can't be in a mood. You can't be angry while you're in nature. It's impossible.
Look at this behind you.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
If you feel bad and you walk into a park, open space, you come into allotment, a green space, it changes your whole mindset completely. So I say, just try it. And if it's your first time, you don't have to come to an allotment space. If you want to just try and grow potatoes, for instance, you can just get yourself a barrel, you can get a grow bag, put some soil in there, put some potatoes in there, cut them in half, put them in there, and you'll see them grow. You'll start seeing it coming up, and you think, wow, what's that? And they'll come up, and then once it kind of dries out and dies down, that's when you know your potatoes are ready to kind of to cultivate and take out. So as I say, it's just a bit of a kind of encouragement, really, to say, you know what, just try. You know, unless you try, you're never gonna know. There's no point having a belly full of regret and thinking, oh, I wish I should have done it. Just try it. So that's my word for today.
Brilliant. That's wonderful words of wisdom there from Junior. So just gonna show you a little views again. The sun's coming out, and look at the views in the allotments. So even if you just come for your well-being. Now I do used to lead a walking group from Omnia Medical Centre, and I know that there's bordered green allotments on nearby, and we used to take the patients from the medical centre into the allotment space just to walk around for their well-being. To see something like this is amazing. The health benefits of being around green spaces, green lungs, it's massive. So yeah, if you've got something nearby that you can get access to, like a space like here, I'd recommend you try and get in and use it. Go for a walk, have a look, speak to some of the plot holders, and find out, and you'll make some wonderful friends, you meet new people, and it's the life experiences that you talk about. So as a child, you said your grandfather got you in there. What country did your grandfather
Grandfather was from Jamaica, and then he came here, I think, during the Windrush.
Windrush generation?
In the 1960s,
So,
so.
does he have memories as a child back in Jamaica growing food and cooking?
Yeah, so
food?
that's where I think from his father, he learned how to grow. I'm thinking during that generation, it was a bit different to now. I think it was a lot of people did have their own spaces or own gardens where they grew, or own farms where they grew, and I think they passed it on from generation, from father to son, or father to daughter, or mother to son and daughter. And I think that's, you know, that kind of element has changed. So you see a lot of the older generation still in allotments, but now you actually, which is beautiful, you see a lot of young people now. So when I come to allotment now, in my allotments, I see a lot of young people here learning to grow as well. So as I mentioned, it's something that my kind of grand passed on to me. And I thought at the time, no, I don't want to do it. No, I'm not interested. But I'm kind of glad for that now. I'm so grateful for that. It's like it's, you know, it's passed on the baton to me. That's why I see it as. And I've tried to pass it on to my daughters, which are 19 and 18, and they're like, no, Dad, no, my nails, no. But I've brought them a few times, and I got my little nephew that I bring as well, who is 9 or 10, and he loves growing. So hopefully I'm doing the same thing. I want to pass on the baton to them as well, and hopefully you can continue. So it's it just, as I say, you know, just try it, and then you never know what you might get from it.
Brilliant, great words, thank you. Come on then, let's show some of the stuff that you grow, and then let's have a smell and have a feel and show our viewers. We're coming up to 11:30, so nearly time to end our video, but just want to finish off by showing some of the stuff.
Yeah, so this is kale. This looks like Cavella Nero, but I think it's actually black magic kale. As you can see, a lot of the slugs are eating a lot of my stuff, so what a lot of people do is they grow raised beds. But when you put in a raised bed, it helps prevent the slugs getting in and eating your crop, basically. But I tend to like just to grow things from the ground, so it's something I'm trying to work on as well. Trying to get more. But with allotment, it also comes with time as well. So if you've got time, and you know, you won't see how much benefit you do by growing things. So this is kale, amazing. With my kale, I cook it with onions and grow it down, cook it down and into like a steam. I steam it or cook it down. It's beautiful. So that's kale. I do have some sweet corn here, but these are going to get pulled out now because they're like, the squirrels had them, so these are going to come out.
So you can, these are all going to be
realise like it's surprising how thick the roots growing from when you pull it in. You pull it in from down here, and then you pull it in and it grows so high.
Yeah, look how high they have grown as well. So
that's the kale. This is a pear tree, but it's not obviously pears are probably finished. I've mentioned the callaloo, and this is summer cabbage. So it's been a lot of been eating that as well, as I say. So I would say that I don't mind eating my veg like that as long as I've washed it. I'm still here. I'm not sick. I'm not in hospital because the slugs are eating and I'm eating the same thing. It's not a problem really. But some people, you know, you go to the shops and you see fully green and you won't see no holes in it or nothing, and you think like, I wonder what that is. I wonder what they sprayed on it. I wonder what they've also done so, you know, they don't grow. The slugs don't eat it. So to me, that's natural. If I know if a slug's eating it, I know that obviously I should be eating it. But if they're not eating it, then something's wrong with it. Yeah. That's what I feel anyway.
Good way of
That's my concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
behind the pear tree, you've got some of the.
Yeah, but as I said, I'm not done too well with my pumpkin and marrow.
Yeah.
So
but you've got some, which is great.
I put 4 marrow in, 2 have come through, and they're ready now. So you'll know when they're ready because what happens is this starts to dry out, and you can feel it starts to get soft. So that's when you know they're ready. But if you look at the pumpkin, it's still. Look on this side.
Yeah, I'll come on this side. Let me go on this side. It's careful through here.
You can see this is not ready to come out yet because it's not dried out.
Yeah.
So once it's dried out, start to dry it from here. That's when you know it's ready to come out. That's too small. I want it a bit bigger than that. I want it the size of a football. So yeah, so that's what's growing this year.
Yeah.
Which, a bit disappointed, but I'm still glad that I've got something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is my lemongrass. I made a bit of a blunder with my lemongrass. So when I was picking it, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to pick it from the bottom and take it out. And I was picking it from the top. So when you pick things from the top, it starts to grow smaller ones and a lot more. So see, so if you look at my mint here,
Yeah.
That's what the lemongrass supposed to look like. But as you can see from here the lemongrass is starting to come through again.
Yeah,
you
so
see
from where it's picked.
Yeah, so what I want to do, I'll have to cut it down from the bottom, and then next year it'll grow back through. So that's lemongrass, that's mint.
Let's smell some of that mint.
Man. It's just beautiful, man.
Yeah. I've just put that to my nose. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So
the smell, just that tiny leaf, amazing. That's my peppermint tea, and
yeah. So that's what I do. I make my teas out of that as well. So lemongrass. I always put lemongrass and mint together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is thyme. It's a bit different than normal thyme that you usually see.
Yeah.
So you use the dry it out. That's thyme. This is my calendula plant. So you
How do you pronounce that again?
Calendula.
Calendula plant.
Yeah, calendula. Yeah. So you can use that as make it into oil, so you can use it just so it looks beautiful by looking at it basically. And what I like about some of my flowers and that as well is that it helps the bees come and pollinate as well. So that's why I'll grow certain flowers as well. This is the nasturtium. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right.
Okay.
But it's spelled Narstium. It's got a kind of a unique name, but this is what I use. So I will basically, I'm just like that. I'll just get the leaf and I'll just use it.
Edible. Let me try.
Yeah. It's edible.
So look at that beautiful colour there, guys.
Yeah, and it's like a peppery taste when you chew it.
Yeah.
So
it's got a lovely taste to it.
Yeah. So you can put that on salad.
That would be lovely in the salad.
It's really high in vitamin C. That's why I have it. So and we know that vitamin C and vitamin D is really good, and I've got some lavender here as well. So this is known as Russian comfrey.
Russian comfrey.
Comfrey. Comfrey. And basically, you can be used as made into oil. So it's good for people that have got pain, and make it into cream, shall I say. So if you look on YouTube, you see a lot of people making videos of how to do it. They'll harvest it, they'll dry it out, and then they'll make it into with coconut oil and make it into a cream base. And then basically you apply it to your skin if you've got any kind of pains, like if you've got fibromyalgia, if you've got arthritis. Amazing plant, and it's actually a weed. I picked this up from when I was going down to a canal site, and I saw it down the canal, and I thought, let me just dig that up, and I just transported it here, and then so I use it as a cream as well. So for any kind of pain. So that's my little herb bed. This obviously is a mess, but I do get a lot of raspberries.
Yeah, you can see some of the raspberries there.
I get raspberries, and it does need tidying up a lot. Raspberries, and also I've got a gooseberry bush over there as well. So, and then all along here, strawberry patch that I get here as well. So
yeah, so strawberry patches and raspberries here, which we can use for your pies and
it's my fruits.
for your cakes.
With the raspberries and strawberries, I cultivate them, and then I wash them, and then I put them into a tub, and obviously put them in my freezer, and have my smoothies.
Smoothies, lovely, yeah.
So that's what I do with my fruits. So yeah, this is my plot. It needs a lot of work still, but
yeah, let's smell some of that lavender. Yeah.
Rub the top part as well, yeah.
Yeah, lovely smell of that lavender there.
Yeah. So, and we don't realise that a lot of the essential oils that people make, essential oils, just comes from a plant like that. You know, they'll dry it down, and then they'll steep it, and then make it into oil. And the benefits of some of the essential oils that we don't know that we use, they mix it with a carrier oil, and then they apply it to the skin. You know, lavender is amazing for people that have got things like they can't sleep or insomnia. That's why if you go to Holland Barrett, they give you a lavender drops, put it on your pillow at night, and it helps people sleep. So, but if you've got something like that, you can just rub some rub it onto your pillow, underneath your pillow, and then help you sleep. So just little tips like that, really, that that's beneficial for people, really. Some symptoms that people have got, you don't realise that we've got things that we can just walk around and grab and just use it and not realise it, how beneficial it is, instead of going and popping pills sometimes. Yeah. There's a place for that, but also there's a place for these things as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much, Junior. It's time for us to end this video, but I'm just going to take a moment just to show you some of the views from here. And if I zoom in, you can see the sunflowers ahead. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you share it on to any of your friends and family that may benefit from learning from Junior's experience as a young man growing in an allotment space as well. So it's for everyone. It's not for just the elderly, as Junior mentioned in his video. It's great for your well-being. It's great to look after your physical well-being, because it's quite manual work involved as well. So just try and understand how some of the people here work by themselves all day in the allotment space, and what a great workout that is. So there's no gym memberships involved, there's no fees. You are doing proper manual labor work, and it's great for your well-being. And as you can see from the results of Junior's well-being, he's looking after himself, he's eating good, he's drinking good produce and smoothies that he's making from his allotment. He's looking after his well-being. So any final words for our viewers, Junior?
I think we said quite a lot, really. As I mentioned, I just said, as I said, give it a try. It's something that I didn't think that I would benefit from coming along to this, but I want to, it's my passion. I want to spread the word to as much people as possible that that come along. And I believe that at a time like this, especially where viruses and things going on, we need to take care of our health. If you don't take care of your health, you can't go to work, you can't do various things, you can't look after the family and things like that. So I just think it's really important that look after your health, basically. Yeah, health comes first.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to end it here. Thanks for those who watched live and those who are going to watch later. Any questions, like we said, put them into the comments, and let's hope you enjoy this video later as well. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Yes, George.